Hello, friends. I had an opportunity to examine some ideas in the midst of all the economy and everything else that's going on. People are more and more concerned about retirement and not running out of money. And so, if you look at what's going on, none of us want to run out of money during retirement and end up in abject poverty. But let's just take a look at a few concepts that might just help you understand the peril that exists going forward. Let's just make an assumption here that you're 50 years old. Here's your little timeline, and by the time you get to 65, you want to be able to retire. Let's go a little further out here. So you have 15 years basically between age 50 and 65 before you get to retirement. Now, if you want to retire at 65, and let's say today you can live pretty comfortably on $4,000. Now, you have to use your own numbers, but for today, something in my eye. Shoot. Okay, we're ready to go.
Are we?
Yeah, I got something in my eye. You know how that happens. $4,000 today. Well, we all are aware of what inflation is and how things get more expensive. You know, today you probably have more equity in your gas tank than you do in your home. But if you look at what happens with just 4% inflation, now I don't know what inflation is going to be going forward. I don't think anybody else does. But if we look at a historical package of 4% between now and age 65, if you want to have the same quality of life here at age 65, you're going to need to have $7,203 a month to be able to buy the same bags of groceries that you were able to buy at age 50 for $4,000. You're not any richer. It just, the dollar isn't worth as much. And so it takes more of them to get what you could buy here at age 50. Well, if you want to retire here at age 65, you're going to need $7,203 a month. Now, it gets a little scary, so beware. But if you're probably going to live another 5 years to age 70. Now at age 70, you're going to need some more money. $8,764. $8,764. So the cost of living's gone up. It's going to cost more for a tank of gas, for a head of lettuce. A can of tuna is going to cost more. Well, let's say you make it out to age 75, which in today, with all the medical advances and organ cloning and pharmaceuticals and nutraceuticals, the longevity of people in America is going way up. So by age 75, you're going to need $10,663. $10,663 is the same bags of groceries as $4,000 was when you were age 50. Now this gets a little scary. How are you going to fund $10,000 a month? How much of your $4,000 are you going to have to put away every month in order to, by age 65, to build this big pile of money? The questions are, number one, is how big is it? How big's the pile? Number two question you've got to answer is, how much money per month are you going to have to put away between now and here to build that pile big enough in order to sustain this ever-expanding, ever-growing amount of money? Now you might say, well, now wait a minute, there's Social Security in there. Yes, there is. But it's been 2 years that there has been no raises, no cost of living raises on Social Security. So who knows what Social Security is going to be out here, but let's say it's there. Some amount of that $7,000 is certainly not going to be $7,000 in Social Security. Right now, in the next 15 years, the number of people on Social Security with the baby boomers is going to grow by 75%. The number of people paying those payroll taxes is going to grow by 5%. Let's see here, 75, 5. How's that going to work? You explain to me how the math works. I don't know, but maybe there'll be some Social Security in there. So what are we going to do with this ever-growing amount of money? Now, life expectancy in America is better than 80, and at age 80, it's 12,973. $12,973. Are you kidding me? That's huge by the time you're age 80. Now with life expectancies for women, it's 85 or better. By the time when we get to age 85, it's 15,784. $15,784. This just keeps growing, and the reality is, as far as women goes, the statistic is that 85% of the elderly poor in America are women. So women have a bigger challenge because typically they make less than men. It's just the way it is. Typically, they're more conservative in their investments than men are. They have more interruptions in their work life with having children and so forth. So the problem is, if you're going to want to enjoy a quality of life that you enjoyed here at age 50, and you want that same quality of life going forward and not run out of money, you have to know how big this pile is. You have to know how much money per month you need to put away. And the third big question is, what interest rate do I get on that pile? Because if you have like a very low interest rate, if you have like 3%, and inflation is 4%, you're actually going backwards. And you don't even know it. So, now some people in their family, and this is up to them, some people have longevity that goes beyond 85. They have grandparents who lived to 90, or parents. That goes to $19,000 plus, almost $20,000 a month, just to sustain a $4,000 quality of life. And you might say, well, Pete, I'm not going to have I'm not going to need as much. I'm not going to travel as much. I'm not going to, go visit the grandkids as much. Well, maybe not. The thing that will take this up is the pills you got to take to keep you alive. So with your permission, we need to continue on at that same 4% inflation. So there you have it. There's a little thing to give you some sleepless nights. I hope you enjoyed our little presentation today. Have a great day.